in for another cracking quarter-final, you'd have to say here.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. The first frame, John Higgins to break.
John did win the toss, so he's got this first frame underway. Good length of the cue ball, but red coming halfway down the table. Might be able to have a go at this in such a way you could finish on the black and not leave a great deal, but just depends on the angle. It's not a good angle, really. But he's tried it anyway. Okay, he's not on the black, but nice way to start a match that, Ken.
Yeah, fantastic. Long pot. The black actually does pot, I think, into the right centre, but a bit risky, particularly with the red just above it. There you see it, just about goes into that middle pocket, but refused it. Not a
Ryan Day 1.
Good safety shot. But he'd be happy with the opener. It's always helps you settle down when you can knock down men at the beginning of a match. He's a different player, isn't he? I mean, he said at the intro, it doesn't feel any different, but when you do win your first major ranking tournament, particularly when you've lost in 4 previous finals, Dennis, it does give you that little bit extra confidence.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Ken. As he comes to the table, snooker behind the wall, but no problem from just coming off the side cushion and into the reds. No, I think he's a far, far better player now, Ryan Day. Always has been a great player, great break builder. But he's got that inner belief now, and that is so important in this game.
Yeah, there's always a seed of doubt until you win that first one. He's going to find himself in this particular situation quite a lot in this match. As the boys said at the top of the show, one of the best match players, if not the best that's ever played the game, John Higgins.
Thank you, Ryan.
Safety always top notch. Great knowledge of the angles.
And that's not the best safety shot that Ryan's ever played. A long way short with the cue ball and pushed one towards the corner, so that's an early chance for John Higgins, but the cue ball's tucked up in the cushion, as you can see. You've got to hit it absolutely spot on. Wasn't as easy as it looked that, with the cue ball being so tight to the cushion. John went off the boil a little bit against Anthony McGill, but towards the end of that match, he back to his brilliant best again. I thought Anthony was going to win that encounter, but in the end, John just got stronger and stronger.
Yeah, I didn't see too much of that match. But a bit surprising when Rob introduced John Higgins. He attempting to get into the semi-final for 6 years, I think it was, he said. It's quite incredible. Oh, lovely shot. And he's blessed with a great cue par. Struck that nicely. He could go into the reds here if he wished. Take the blue and go into the pack of reds. He doesn't fancy it. Maybe see a bit of his cue par here.
Four.
He could try and get the pink back on its spot, but it won't won't be available into 3 of the 4 pockets.
Five. Ten.
He's having to work quite hard for these points. Just a little bit awkward, those 3 reds to the left of the black.
Cue ball.
He's just spotted something on the cue ball there. Olivia Martel just giving it a clean from Belgium.
Eleven.
It's 2 or 3 times he hasn't just finished on the blue as he intended. No, that needs to pull up. I don't think he's on one.
16.
Unless there's a plant on for the left middle. He's just looking to see the distance between the 2 reds. He might be able to make this. Yeah, in fact, it's almost going straight into the middle of the pocket, so just a fraction between the 2 reds, so fancy him to get this.
Yeah, could play it in such a way where he can run through with the cue ball and make it out for the pink into the right centre. It is very risky though. He's screwing back for the black. Always a bit risky.
Ryan Day 16.
Now what has he left? Into the left centre. John is having a look to see if this red can pot up towards the top left hand corner pocket. Looks like it can. Good shot. I think the black will spot on its own spot, so it's going to be tied up after he pots this.
Eight. Nine.
Well, there's
15.
at least 3 reds still available for John. Those 3 near the black are sort of out of the game at the moment. That was a great shot there of John, watching him hitting the centre of the ball.
22.
Right down the cue, John. He just strikes the white just below centre for the stun shot, but
23.
and those two reds now, he's got an angle on the pink to develop them. In fact, it looks as if one of them will go into the right middle pocket, but is the pink going to make it rather awkward?
29.
Yeah, he hadn't too much to do with it, but still a good shot then.
30.
That'd be interesting which way he goes about this.
36.
Because he needs to split those reds around the black. So will he try and take this red and maybe a blue, take the other loose red before he attempts that? Or he's going to try and get an angle on the pink.
37.
But it looks a bit straight. I don't think he's got the perfect angle here. May be able to force it. He's got a slight angle. Just tried to cannon into the left red, because the one
40.
just below the black is open into the bottom right hand corner pocket. Just try to kiss that red out of the way. Misjudged it. That's end of break.
Well, that's a much more difficult plant that John's looking at, the one that Ryan took on for the middle. He doesn't like it.
John Higgins, 43.
Ryan's now looking at the two reds, another plant. And can he get past the black to make that plant? Must be fairly close, yeah. It's still more difficult than the one he missed previously, but he's having a go at it. He might just get away with this. See, a little bit of good fortune there, but you always need that at this game.
Very simple shot, but very clever. Trying to keep that red safe, and definitely wasn't taking the red that he was closest to the cue ball. He wasn't taking that away from the right hand side cushion, bring that into open play. He wants to keep it tight. Try to nurse that 26-point lead. This red may pot here. No, decided against it. He's played a good safety shot.
Very good. This red might go close to the opposite corner pocket. He's playing a safety shot, but he's hit it a lot thinner than he intended. Now he needs the pink to help him out here, and I think it has. Behind the brown, he'll be aiming for here. Might be tempted here. You can just get past the yellow to the potting angle. No. But everything's safe again. Pink coming to the rescue, covering that red, as you can see.
Yeah, that's a few times he's been quite fortunate. He missed the plant and left the cue ball close to a red. And that pink has come to his rescue the last couple of times now. Again, cue ball, try and get up behind the brown here. It's a bit of cat and mouse at the moment, isn't it? Ryan trying to bring the reds into play, John trying to tie them up.
I don't think he's covered it this time. And if it's dead straight, and it is, as you can see, he'll be hoping to leave the white where the red is, and he'll be on the black.
Sure.
Just picking up something the cue ball seems to, it's a couple of times it's had to be cleaned. So you'd be hitting the cue ball right down at the bottom. 6 o'clock is, you would imagine the white ball being at clock face. Yeah, you can clinch the frame without needing the two difficult reds. Left side of the table there.
9.
No problem getting up onto this one to the left of the black. Wants the white to bounce a little.
14. So it's a pretty good start for John Higgins here.
even though it's the best of 11, always nice to get the first frame under your belt. He only needs the one snooker though, so Ryan will be coming back to the table.
John Higgins, 20.
Needs to pull up, and it hasn't.
John Higgins followed Frank conceded. John Higgins.
Bit of a tactical frame, but in the end, John Higgins took it quite comfortably, and he leads by 1 frame to 0. Get into their seats. They're not allowed in during a frame.
Quickly, please. The second frame, Ryan Day to break.
These cushions are starting to look a little bit lively, of course. There's a new cloth goes on for the semi-final. That will be done as soon as this match finishes. Get ready for tomorrow. They've already changed the cloth on the cushions, just so we don't get many bounces, but they still look quite lively. It was interesting what John was saying and what the other boys were saying about John Higgins' game. He never, very rarely you see him make a wrong decision. He might miss a pot, but he never makes a bad decision. And I think Ryan, if he's going to beat him tonight, Dennis, he's got to really attack him. He's not going to beat him in that type of safety match play exchange. He's got to sort of stick to what he's good at, and that's good long potting and trying to win the frame from one visit.
Mind you, John's had 2 attempts at pots in the corner pocket, and he's been a long way off. He normally knocks those in. A lovely nudge on the brown, but that was much more difficult, the one that Ryan cut in, than the one that John missed. But a very favourable cannon. Otherwise you'd have been rolling up behind the colour. Now he can get right back up to the business end of the table here. But that's not the best of shots. He wanted to be further up the table to take the red into the left corner, play for the black, which is available only in to that one pocket. The pink might be available if he takes the one to the right corner. Yeah. John just looking over his shoulder there. See the result of the shot.
Thank you.
It's funny how some players like to watch what's going on the table, and other players don't want to look at the table.
Pots this pink, the red that's just to the left of the pink will pot then. I don't think the pink will go on its spot. I think it'll have to go up onto the yellow. And now he's
12.
That red that you were talking about, Dennis. He's on that nicely, and now this is the chance.
13.
These are the situations you really sort of got to make the most of to put your opponent, and particularly one of the class of John Higgins, under any sort of pressure.
$20. 21.
The red directly above the black will pot into the left-hand corner pocket. There you see it. And when he pots this red, as you see, another lively bounce from the top cushion.
28.
Let's have a look at this bounce. It came off very, very fast. Yeah, good recovery.
Still a couple of reds available if he doesn't want to. Well, from that angle, I think he'll play for the red just to the back of the bunch there, to the left. And now this next shot will really open things up, so he's got to be careful that he
36.
doesn't leave the cue ball near the side cushion when playing this shot. Well, he could avoid
37.
cannoning into the reds. He did well to create that angle there. So he's took all the loose ones away. And now imperative he gets a good angle when potting this one. Well, he might just develop one on potting this now. And he
43.
has. In fact, he might have developed all three there. I think they all pot into the same pocket that he's taking the black, so that was a beautiful little cannon that he played there. He really is a terrific break builder. He's made over 300 centuries, as we show you this delicate little cannon
50.
that suddenly put three reds on. Yeah, 314 centuries he's made. He made 39 last season, and he's already on 21 this season. So he's a very gifted cueist.
59.
And it's a nice shot as well, developing. Another couple of reds, judged it perfectly. And this is exactly what he would have liked. Try and win this frame one visit. Sends out your signal, to, of course, to your opponent as well. And if you make a mistake,
66.
you're in good stroke and you're feeling confident.
Oh, it's quite a reach that. He's a tall lad, is Ryan, and very useful there.
67.
I don't think you or I would have been able to play that shot, Dennis, would we?
$75.
Now when he puts this red, he can dislodge
82.
the two reds that are tied up.
83.
Oh well, he missed the black. No century, but he'd be delighted to win the frame in one visit. A lovely break of 83 from Ryan Day. He gets off the mark. It's John Higgins 1, Ryan Day 1.
Thank you. Thank you. The third frame, John Higgins to break.
Yeah, this cushion behind the black ball's definitely bouncing a lot quicker off it, because even the break-off shot there, the players are coming back out of the bottom end of the table up to the colours rather than being close to the cushion. Now let's see if he can start this third frame. Oh, look at the positional shot he played there as well. He thought that was in. I thought when he hit it, it was in. It looked as if he was going to cover it, but he hasn't. Is he going into the reds here? He certainly is. Always risky. You're never guaranteed to be nicely on a colour, but it was definitely the correct shot, that's for sure. He was a bit unlucky to leave the cue ball in that position.
John Higgins 1.
Ryan does play the cue ball back down into the balk area. He's got to be careful. This red, it's closest to the bottom right hand corner pocket. And that's why he may even try and play off that to take it away from that pocket. He could try and put the cue ball up somewhere near the yellow pocket, but he's taken this one away. Needs to miss the brown, and it'll be a good shot. Excellent shot. Well played. Good weight of the cue ball.
A long way short this time with the safety. He's left a tempter that Ryan's looking at into the left corner. He's thinking about it. It's not only a difficult pot, he'd have to be very precise with the cue ball to get onto the black. Drop it in dead wet was excellent, because that's what he had to do to give himself a chance at the black.
He's had a quick look to see, is he on this red end? Bottom right hand corner pocket.
8.
May just have enough of it.
Yeah, he's asking the referee to just re-spot it, which you can do. You're allowed to do that.
You're welcome.
You might be able to. I'd have to bend it slightly looking at that picture. I'm not sure if there's one available into the right middle pocket. If there is, he'll take that on. Yeah, that's the one. So up for the blue. And now he's got a few choices. Perfect angle on the blue to split the reds, which he may elect to do because that's very awkward to get on the two to the right of the black, which would open the black up. Now, how's your luck, Ryan? It's not bad. I think he can get through to this
14.
one. Might be a bit tight. Now he can see enough of that, I think.
$15.
Oh, didn't want that kiss on the blue. It looks too straight now. He was a bit unfortunate when he did split the reds. The red came down and covered the black into both pockets. So to keep it going, he's got to either pot the blue, take a red from mid-distance, or try and pot the brown, bring it around the angles.
$20. Round 8, 20.
That's not a bad result in the end. He hasn't left anything easy for John Higgins. There's one possible red that'll pot into the right corner, but is he going to take that on and cannon the red and black? He might be able to find a gap past the black to get round the table for the blue or one of the balk colours. He's missed a few like this, although he was further away from them, but a few of this type of shot he could do with knocking this one in. He's given himself a reasonable chance here, but the black's out of commission and the pink's awkward, although it is available next to the green into the left corner pocket, but he's got 5 or 6 reds available. Now he can play for the pink this time, and if it's back up on its spot, it would be a big help. Well, in fact, the green is going to have to go on the pink spot because there's not enough room there, and that's
4.
the highest available spot, but it doesn't make a great deal of difference. It just means that he'll be getting 3 points rather than 6 with the green on the pink spot.
$10.
He's not sure if that black pots there. That's what he was looking at. That's very tight. I could forget about that for the time being.
$11.
If he has an angle on this green, he could try and stun the cue ball into the red and black here. He'd still be on the red to the right corner pocket. Bring the black into play if you can. Oh, he had the angle. Bit surprised he didn't play that shot. Bit harder. Could have pushed that red away from the black. The black would have been on into both pockets.
I think if he's got an angle on this, he can get onto the black, Ken, because this is the one that was blocking the path for the black. No, still concentrating on the green, so
15.
the black's still out of the game.
Sure.
But he doesn't have to worry about the black. I know it'd be helpful, but as long as he keeps potting blues and greens.
Yeah, but he's going to need those two reds that are close to the left-hand side cushion to win the frame from this visit. Now, try and get on this red just to the right of the black.
20.
Has he hit it hard enough? Looks okay, yeah.
$21.
So after a few good pots,
28.
good positional play, he's worked himself into an excellent position here.
29.
10 points ahead. Black will be 17, and even 3 reds and 3 blacks will be 41, so he's going to need one of those 2 reds that are close to that left-hand side cushion, so that would be Ryan Day's only hope.
36.
He would feel.
$37.
How many shots are you playing, or are you thinking about there? You saw John looking at the scores. So in his mind he's thinking 3 reds, 3 blacks, 41 with 43 on the table.
44. $45.
Thing with this red behind the black, he can get on it nicely, but he's already thinking of where he wants to put
Can you put that phone away, please?
the cue ball. Someone has a phone out, I think, near the front. John spotted it there. So this is key, that he gets on the cover with an angle to try and bring at least one of those
52.
difficult reds into play.
$53.
Now, how's the angle on the black? He might have played that to perfection. I think he can screw back and develop at least one of them. Yeah, he can do that. So one good long pot, and that will give him frame
60.
3.
It looks like he's going to take it on into the green pocket, as we call it. top right hand corner pocket. Great shot, and it's there.
61.
This has been a fabulous break from John Higgins.
Well, I don't think he'd be too concerned about the
John
ball.
Higgins, 61.
Ryan's coming back to the table, but barring snookers, John Higgins should be leading 2-1.
Yeah, a little tap on the table from John Higgins. That was an excellent shot. Straightforward shot. Would have been off the right hand side cushion, but the black is in the way. So may have to go off 2 cushions here.
Well, if your opponent needs snookers, the best thing to do is snooker him. If you can't pop the ball. He settled for that. Look at the distance between the 2 balls from being snookered. A couple of snookers with the balls as they are. They're in perfect positions for snooker. Oh, far too hard.
Thank you.
This time it hasn't gone safe.
One. Three. Five. Eight. Thank you. 12. $17. Higgins 17 and
So John Higgins with that earlier break at 61 gets him back into the lead. It's 2-1.
Thank you. Frame 4, Ryan Day to break.
Pretty good break-off shot there. John may have to leave the white up this end of the table. Playing the red to the right of the bunch. I don't think he can get past the blue to take the pot on, but he can see enough of it to play the safety shot. It was important to get that cue ball as close to the cushion as possible because there was a red to the left of the pink that was potable into the right middle pocket. And that's going to be close to the cushion again, although no. Just coming away from the cushion makes this safety shot a little bit easier. Well, he's left one for the left middle pocket, so the only thing is just looking at it, the angle, he may go close to the brown. If he could avoid canning into the brown, that would help. Still got to pop the red first, though. In the end, he couldn't avoid the cannon on the brown, and it's worked out just about perfect for him. So a good early chance in this frame before the mid-session interval.
5. Six. Sure. 11.
Choice of pink or black from this red. Let me get the pink back on its own spot here.
$12.
And you can stun through the gap of reds here for the couple of reds above the black now.
$80. 19.
I've always enjoyed watching this player break build.
Sure.
He's made 698
26.
centuries in his professional career. I think there's only Ronnie O'Sullivan and Stephen Hendry ahead of him.
$27.
He's just wondering, will he play a little cannon or can he just stun the pink in for the extreme red on the left of the pink there.
$33. 34. $41.
This all
42.
caused by that bit of a lapse with his safety shot, Ryan. He left John red for the middle pocket that he shouldn't have. In fact, we can show you the red that he should have covered this one. A little bit fortunate to hit the brown and put it in to the perfect position there, but I suppose he deserved a little bit of luck. It was quite a good pot.
$49.
It's a good way to go to the mid-session interval, Ken, if you can win the frame with one visit, isn't it? It's not going to be easy.
No, purposely left himself a nice angle though on the pink here. Just stunned the pink in, and he just wants to clip the outside red on the right of the bunch of four. And that'll bring that into play nicely, and that's exactly what he's done. Yeah, I totally agree. You know, just perfect little cannon.
55.
Just to bring that, he knew he was pushing that red towards the right corner pocket. Didn't have to use too much pace. It's just the way he's gone about this break. And that's probably the first
56.
relatively poor shot that he's played in this break. Want to be a bit straighter on this black. Safely there. How's the position? Yeah, and that just came from that previous
63.
red. Didn't bounce the cue ball off this bottom cushion hard enough. He's lost position now. He'll be kicking himself.
Yeah, because he was just looking for one more red, and on a high-valued colour, and the frame would have been safe. And he definitely needs the spider to get to this one. You see, he's making sure of the angle there. They're difficult to judge when you're that close to them, and then when you're bridging over the other red, that's doubly difficult. And with the reds as they are, now he's doing what the great Ray Reardon used to do, putting the rest on top of the spider. But there seems to be a bit of movement there. That's not a good idea. Whoops. Oh, he nearly fouled the red with the tip of the cue there.
Thank you.
Just as he was, just watch the cue here as he was pulling the rest and spider away. Oops.
Yeah, maybe be a bit more prudent to try and keep it safe. He's got a good lead.
I think what it is, you're so disappointed about the shot you played that you want to take the hook. Now he's got the extended spider out.
Too high?
It's too high, and I didn't know they could adjust the height. That's a new one for me. So we've had problems with spiders, we've had problems with wasps today. Right.
He's taken the...
He's just saying it's too high.
Yeah, it looks pretty high, doesn't it?
Well,
Boss, can you check if you have a lower extended spider?
he says there's one in the practice area, but
I think it's going to be just the same. Yeah?
I don't know whether it's all new equipment, Ken, that we've got, because the rests are different. In fact, you know, the rest used to have a high side and a sort of a lower side. Yeah, lower side, and that's been done away with without asking the players, it has to be said. I find that rather strange.
Lower?
You see, it used to be, they're just identical whichever way you hold it now, but before the rests,
it's the same.
You'd get a little bit more height. There we go.
We've got two spiders in the room now.
Oh.
Thank you. It's lower.
It'd be funny if he decided to play a safety shot now after all this, wouldn't he?
Risky one, and he did think about playing the safety shot.
Thank you. Settle down, please.
And with hindsight, I think we said that very rarely does he play the wrong shot, John Higgins, but he thought long and hard about that, and he's given Ryan a glimmer of hope here. There's the two reds, the right side of the table, you know. But he's, look at the bounce he's got off the cushion again there. Just kept on rolling there. And as Ken said, there will be changing the cloth after this last quarter-final match. Now, the position he's finished in, he might try and bring those two difficult reds into play here. Oh, he's just saying to the referee these cushions are springing, so it'll be interesting to see tomorrow when he just said to the referee you couldn't bring the tables from the back in here.
Is he going to have a go at this red down this right-hand side of the table? It's very, very difficult, fraught with a lot of danger. Oh, what a shot. Fantastic. 7. Great pot. May be able to, when potting this black, go into the, use the red in the middle of the table to try and hold the cue ball. Oh, too difficult.
Brian Day, 7.
He was a bit unlucky when he potted that wonderful red, Dennis, that the cue ball just drifted towards this cushion near the black.
Yeah, the red was the shot of the day. In fact, one of the best shots in this year's Alphabet Masters, because it was a cracking pot. And as you say, the white just ran that inch too far.
Thank you. One. Four. 5. 11. 12. 18. Thank you.
Well, he won't be bothered about the red.
Higgins, 18 on the frame.
So John Higgins goes into the mid-session interval, leading Brian Day by 3 frames to 1.
Higgins to break.
And John gets it underway. I was chatting to Ryan briefly, and he was saying that this cushion behind the black, the ball's really coming off it very quick indeed, very difficult to judge. And the white's in.
Foul. John Higgins, 4.
Only costing him 4 points. There's nothing available.
Yeah, it seems a bit strange why the cushions are springing so much, because they didn't change the bed of the cloth, but they changed the cloth on the cushions a couple of days ago.
Is that the standard thing these days, Ken?
Yeah.
Because you know, the table was playing beautifully, so you know, why change it if it's playing so well?
I think the standard practice now, after every 2 or 3 days, they change the cushion cloth on the TV tables. I think it's just wear and tear, you know.
Yeah, with the cloth being so
dropped his
thin.
cloth, is he?
Yeah. Oh.
Oh no, there he is.
Oh.
He's back.
Oh, he's got it. Oh, he's... That was good cueing from Ryan there to get the wasp at the butt end.
It is.
He won't be buzzing for a while.
It is. It is gone. It is gone. It is gone. Is it?
Now it's...
Sorry. Thank you. That will do. Thank you.
You'd be disappointed with that, Ryan. He's left John a straightforward chance here.
One.
He's got a nice angle now. He has the red close to the right-hand corner pocket, but he's got a lovely angle. He could go into the pack of reds here, still be on that red. No. That surprises me.
Eight.
Yeah, it looked as if he had the perfect angle to do that with that red, as you said. There's a little bit of insurance, but because they're not a good pack to go into, the way they're situated.
Thank you.
He's come up a little bit short, but he'll play the cannon onto the left side of the pack. If he hit the middle of those reds full ball, he would stick on that, so he can just catch them on the left side. Wow. Took his eye
John
off
Higgins,
the pot.
9.
And he's been very fortunate here, I think. He has. He hasn't left anything on. In fact, he hasn't even left an easy safety shot for Ryan, so he's had a result there, as John.
He's definitely missed the trick there, John. Very surprised he didn't go into the pack of reds from the black when he had that red close to the bottom right-hand corner pocket. I didn't hear the referee say touching ball, so I'll have to play off this red if he wants to try and get back the ball. But it's not straightforward, so he may just lay on the red.
Could do with a touching ball to resolve this situation here. Bit of a stalemate at present.
I think they both don't want to leave their opponent with a touching ball because it's straightforward run to the ball area and it could be in a lot of trouble. So, but ideally for the rest of us, I'd like to see a touching ball. Well, he hasn't played that very well. Not only has he left this red into the corner pocket, but I think that the red will pot into the right centre as well. It's all the way there. Great shot, and he's nicely on the pin. Wonderful shot.
Well, not the best positional shot that Ryan's ever played, that's for sure. Just shows you've got to put 100% concentration into your positional side of the game as well as the pot. This is awkward.
Ryan day 7.
Yeah, it was the shot previously. It was a bit careless from Ryan. Good pot, but didn't want the cannon on the red, that's for sure. Well, that tells me he's thinking about the black here, and he may be thinking about the double. Yeah, a bit like yourself, Ken. He likes a double, does John?
Nicely on this red at the bottom of the pack as well.
Nine.
Just come around to have a look at that red at the bottom to the right of the pack. I think he's just pushed that one on as well. There you see it.
$16. 17.
Somebody liked that shot.
Now he's hampered slightly. It was a lovely split on the reds.
24.
I'll show you it again because he plays this so well. Watch the white stop and then start to spin again, but it's finished up, leaving him probably needing the spider again. And it's not a good angle, that one, so he's taken the more difficult cutback, which will get him on a balk color or the blue. So one more good positional shot, and you'd have to say every chance the score will be 4-1 when he's finished at the table.
I think the pink pot's into the bottom left-hand corner pocket. He's just come around to have a look at that.
$29.
Yeah, he's come around and have a look. He can leave the cue ball somewhere where the pink is now. Just nudge the red to the right of the pink, just out of the way slightly, and beyond. Two reds into this corner pocket. Perfect. Nudged it nicely.
$35.
You can't really see him making a mistake from here. Quick glance at the scores.
36.
Another couple of reds with pinks following this pink, and the frame will be secure.
$42. 43.
And this is why Dennis is so hard to beat. He's not playing at the top of his game, but well, he's just very solid. Even his big game is still so good.
Yeah, he started the match with a 43 break, and then he had a couple of 60s and a 61 and a 63 it was in the two previous frames. So doing enough at the moment.
50.
Yeah, his long ball game hasn't been the best tonight, but his safety has been pretty good. Safety success 82% for John Higgins.
57.
Long pot success 82%.
He had his chances here, did
58.
Ryan, and he just played one bit of a careless positional shot. This was the one when potting the pink. I mean, he left the white a little bit lost, really. Finished up in the worst possible position, as you can see here.
64.
He had to bridge over the pack and missed the red.
Thank you. 65.
No, the black's not in, but that doesn't matter.
John Higgins, 65.
Ryan stays in his seat, and John Higgins continues where he left off before the mid-session interval. And taking that frame, he now extends his lead to 4-1.
A tall order.
Thank you. Frame 6. Ryan Day to break.
Well, that's what you call an attacking safety shot, but catching the brown has spoiled it somewhat. But he can't see the red that's near the right corner pocket. It would be the easier pot. This one into the left corner, not quite as easy. And the pink will go into the right middle if he takes this one on. He had a look to see if he could get on the black, but if the black doesn't pot, he certainly can get to the pink. Just off straight, though. So it'll have to be the black now. But can he see enough of it? I don't think so. Because he caught the jaw of the pocket, as you can see, he can't pot the black. But if he hadn't hit the jaw, he would have been on the pink for the right middle. Got to make sure he covers that one that's near the right corner pocket now.
Right, day one.
Which he has done. And at first glance, not going to be straightforward for John Higgins. Well, certainly if he tries to come back up to where the cue ball is now, he's just looking to see if he leaves the white near this cushion behind the black, if things would be safe. He'd be leaving a tempter along the cushion if he does that.
think this red puts past the pink into the right centre. Just about. Oh, just hit the near jaw. It was close.
Thank you. Settle down, please.
Just caught the near jaw, look. And the pace, of course, as well.
Yeah, that was all that kept that red out. And now John Higgins with a delicate little cannon onto the middle of the three reds will be right in amongst them, and it was he who opened the reds up with an attacking safety shot. So this is a great chance early in this sixth frame.
Eight. Nine.
Tell you what is amazing, Ken, we've mentioned before, it's 6 years
16.
since John has been to the semi-final stages of the Masters. That's quite incredible.
17.
Yeah, I mean, for all the records that he does hold, that one does surprise me.
But it just shows you how tough this Masters is. I mean, top 16 players
24.
in the world. Every match could be a final. And we've got an intruder back again, but John's trying to keep focused. It's just flying around. Another wasp.
$25.
Yeah, you can see the determination in John's face here. He knows the importance of this break on this frame. Putting everything into this break. Doesn't have to do much with the cue ball.
32.
You can see all the reds in the open. It's just a matter of keeping that cue ball on a tight leash.
$33.
Is there enough room for the pink to go on its own spot? Olivia checked it with the ball marker and there's just
39.
enough room, so puts the pink out of commission, but that doesn't really matter.
$40.
Got enough loose reds there of taking blues or blacks.
$45. 46. $51.
Just left that a little short of where he wanted it. Just looking to see if the pink possibly might still pot. And
52.
he feels he can see enough of this pink. From that picture it looks quite tight, doesn't it? Well, as I mentioned, he's made 360 plus breaks in the
58.
3 previous frames. He's on a bit of a roll now, is John, and he can do this to you when he gets going and is in this type of form.
Thank you.
I mentioned, I think it was the other day, Ken, when I was in
59.
Poland with you. He was playing Stuart Bingham in the final of an invitational tournament in China, and I was watching it on the telly over there, and he was 8-6 behind and made 3 consecutive centuries to win the match.
66.
Yeah, this is good stuff from John Higgins. Ryan can only sit there, just watch on. Missed that red, of course, to the right centre.
Thank you.
It's found all, and it's going to be 5-1 to John Higgins.
67.
Ryan is going to have to win all the remaining frames. He's got better and better as the match has gone on, John Higgins. And here's
74.
Ryan Day's miss. Just the pace, just hitting that near jaw.
75.
Of course, he was 3-0 down to Ding Junhui in the first match. Ryan Day came back to win that.
82. 83.
Can we see our first century tonight? He's got a bit of work to do.
Well, this is a tricky red he's
89.
faced with. If he's going to make a century and need this, it's a tough one. Oh, he's hit it well.
90.
And he's got a bit of an angle on the black to get that difficult last red. Well,
97.
this is a key shot for the century. We've had 23 so far this year. Record is 31.
Thank you. 98.
Very well played, John Higgins. And they've certainly enjoyed that, that's for sure. That's his 27th century this season. He made 50 last season. And in total, 699 centuries. Quite amazing, Ken, isn't it?
Yeah, incredible. That is a lovely little shot just to bring the brown into play. I wonder, will he make a 700th century here at the Masters this year? I wouldn't put it past him. Oh, he's missed the drill. But it was a wonderful break of 113 for John Higgins. He puts another frame on the board. He's only one more away from a place in the semi-finals.
Thank you. Quietly, please. Frame 7. John Higgins to break.
So John Higgins breaks off, just needing that one more frame to get him into his first semi-final here in the Masters for 6 years. And Ryan, well, he's just got to be thinking to himself, as Ken mentioned, he was 3-0 down against Ding Junhui and come back and won that match. You can only just take it frame at a time and just see what happens. Well, some of his trademark pots coming up, but he's 5-1 behind. He's just checking to see if the black passes the red. That goes there, but he's got a choice of reds. I mean, if he plays it in such a way that, but it looks to have plenty of room there, but the pink's also available to the left middle, should he not drop on the black. Let's see what he's decided on. Yeah, there was a bit of pressure on that. A little bit easier those shots if you're leading 5-1. And as usually is the case, he wasn't going to leave a great deal, only the red he tried to pot, and he has left a possibility of John knocking this in. Lots of support here for Ryan Day. I think there'd been a very fair crowd. They'd love to see the match going a lot further. No, it's just lost it a little bit, and it's quite understandable, it has to be said. I mean, he's been frozen out for the last 4 frames virtually. Well, this would be some shot here. He's got to try and make this plant. And of course, if you miss it, you bring in other reds into play, he's bound to leave something. Push the ball out a little bit there. You know, I think if the scoreline was different, he wouldn't have taken that plant on. Didn't go cleanly in the pocket, that one. It just caught the side, but safely in. Well, the chances there for John Higgins, and he'll want to try and get this
6.
quarter-final match over as quickly as possible and get himself ready for the semi-final. Oh, that got a slight kick. It sounded
7.
like a kick, but it hasn't affected things.
There's so many putts. This black, he'll take the red. It's closest to this cushion.
Sure.
Because this will open the black into both corner pockets now.
14. $15.
It's the one thing about great champions, Dennis. They're never scared of the winning line. It's almost like they click a switch, you know. They sense the need
22.
when they have to.
Well, they're so used to it, Ken, aren't they? I mean, you're looking at the player who's won 29 ranking titles, so he's used to closing matches out.
$28.
Bit of work to do here. He can hold for that red that's near the cushion there, just above the white and yellow.
$31.
And I think he's just got enough angle to get out onto one of the ball colors.
32.
Yeah, throughout the 80s and the 90s, I mean, Stephen Hendry in the 90s used to finish so many matches with a match-winning break, as Steve Davis did throughout the 80s. He's been unlucky, I think. So he's not going to clinch the match with this
35.
visit. He played the attacking shot there. Well, hang on a minute. Maybe he's still got a pot to go at us. If he was right behind the red, it would be pretty straightforward. He's having to cut it back. And there was a little bit off with that, so only the 35, so still a glimmer of hope for Ryan Day.
It's not on the red directly. I don't think you can see enough of it there to pot it. Referee having a look, but I don't think you can pot it straight on there. You may have to bend it slightly. He's going to have to, or maybe use the cushion. But the problem about the cushion here, the cue ball could end up into the pack of reds here. Oh! How did that stay out?
Well, I cannot believe that he's hit that red too thin.
Thank you. Settle down, please.
This is quite incredible.
Thank you.
No wonder he's sitting there smiling. That was amazing.
He needed that second one to go in, because otherwise it would have been over the pocket and the black wouldn't have been potable. But look at this again. 2 for the price of 1.
Well, any more pace and the black would have stayed out.
9.
So, second bite of the cherry to clinch this quarter final.
Doesn't have to play the cannon into the 4 reds here. The red next to the pink will pot. And you can just stun across the face of it.
17.
Have the pot in this red, take the pink into the opposite corner pocket.
18.
53 ahead, the pink will be 59. One more red will be 60 with 59 remaining. It's been a good solid performance from John Higgins tonight.
24.
That should set up a cracking semi-final
25.
against Mark Allen, who's been playing very well this week as well. He spotted a plant here.
31. 22.
Amazingly enough, Ryan Day lost at this stage last year 6-1 to Stephen Maguire. So,
39.
but he had a good victory over Ding Junhui, and
40.
he's had his first ranking title win, so we'll be saying an awful lot more of Ryan Day.
47. 48.
Always a nice feeling when you're potting balls and you know you're in the semi-final.
54. 55.
He's going to take some stopping as well, isn't he? And it should be a cracking semi-final, Dennis.
60.
Mark Allen playing some great snooker this week as well.
62.
And of course, we've got Judd Trump against Colin Wilson in the other semi-final. Great lineup.
65.
Yeah, even though some of the favourites went out, you're always going to have fantastic matches here in the Masters.
$69.
He'll have enjoyed this performance because he knows Ryan Day was a tough opponent, and
74.
he made an 83 break in the second frame.
18.
But that was it. It was all John Higgins then with a string of breaks, 360 plus breaks, 113, and then that break of 80. And John Higgins in the end goes through to the semi-final.